hair here.
It's
okay. My hair is technically wet as well. So, okay. So, I'm Sarah Summers from the AKLU, and I'm sitting here with Dana Zornes and Nikolai Puchlev, who are the hosts of the the All American Kettlebell Open in Atlantic City, New Jersey, that's coming up in a couple weeks. So why don't the both of you introduce yourselves?
You want me to go first, Nikolai? Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Dana Zornes. I am a baby in the kettlebell sport world. I'm still just under 3 years of training in kettlebell sport. And yeah, my coaches have been Steve Cotter, the great Nikolai Puchlev, and I've recently been working with Dennis Vasilev as my kettlebell sport coaches.
Amazing.
Nikolai Puchlev. I own Pro Kettlebell. For that, I own Seattle Kettlebell Club and been competing in the sport since 2010.
Amazing. Okay, so why don't you give us a little intro to the All American Kettlebell Open? Like, what inspired you to start this event?
So it started basically by me reaching out to, I got an idea from, I was contracting my services through a Gold's Gym, training people at a Gold's Gym. And I was pretty good friends with the manager that ran that gym. And, you know, he kind of saw my classes growing within the gym and things like that. And he was like, dude, you need to reach out to Mr. America and see if you can put kettlebells in the Mr. America Sports Festival. So I was like, okay, I'll just shoot the guy a DM on Instagram and see where it goes. And so I just shot the Mr. America page a message, and I said, hey, would you consider putting kettlebell sport into the Mr. America? And he almost, the gentleman, Mark Torriello, almost immediately responded with, absolutely, do you want to run it? And then, you know, of course, through DM, I said yes, but in reality, I was freaking out because I still I was just getting into the art of, like, I was training for the IKFF level 2 certification. So that is double jerk, you know, it's 40 double jerk and then 100 snatches with 20 kg. So I was just starting to get into some double bell work, and I was training under Steve Cotter. So of course I told Mark Torriello, the president of Mr. America, that yes, I would absolutely love it. So I reached out to Steve Cotter like right away, and I said, look, I have this opportunity. And then Steve Cotter put me in contact with Dennis Vasilev, and kind of not to draw this out, but the owner of the Gold's Gym that I was working out of actually owns the Mr. America. So it's turned out to be a super small circle and such a small thing. So the owner of the gym caught wind of like what I was doing, and he wanted to meet me. So he met me, and he said he loved my energy. He told me he loved my energy. He loved the passion that I kind of was bringing to things and the vision that I had. And he told me, he said, look, if you can find made in America equipment, we'll sponsor, we'll go in half, we'll do some work together, right? So I asked Dennis and Steve, you know, if there were any made in America bells, because I was at that time trying to get Kettlebell Kings to give a discount, because Dennis told me you're going to need, you know, this many bells and, you know, all these bells. It was going to be like a lot of money for me to fork out to Kettlebell Kings, because they just weren't budging on anything. They didn't really essentially didn't want to work with me. But when I got the the go ahead, if I found made in America bells, you know, I've reached out to Dennis, and Dennis was like, okay, here you go. He gave me Nikolai's information, and that's a wrap. I've reached out to Nikolai, and Nikolai has become one of the, I mean, he's here now. And to me, he's like one of the best mentors that I've had since I've been training, you know, in the sport world.
Yeah. Nikolai, what attracted you to partnering with Dana on this event?
Oh, well, Dana is very enthusiastic, you know, and when he got a hold of me, I can't remember how, I think he reached out through Instagram, and I think I just gave him a call. He told me what he wanted to do. He said, we want to do a competition at the Miss America. So I gave him a phone call, and you know, I was excited. It had been, we used to host a competition at Seattle Kettlebell every year in 2016, 18, then 19. They're really big. They're popular. We got working, but we love doing it. And then we were supposed to have a big competition in 2020, and then could shut it down. So that was kind of an abrupt halt to hosting competitions. And so I've been like itchy for it. You know, I'd traveled to competitions, but since COVID, everything was really small. And then when Dana had this idea of doing it at the Miss America, I'm like, in Atlantic City, I was like, oh, this is great. And Dana did kettlebells, and you know, we're pretty, I mean, we're still 5 years into this thing, but you know, this was 3 years ago, so we're really new into it. And I was like, I can't just give you the kettlebells, but I can give you a discount on them. But what we really do is help organize and help put this thing on, because we've got experience doing that. And so then it was just like, and Jana and I hit it off, you know, like peanut butter jelly off the beginning, like, you know, good ideas rolling. And then of course, you know, Amber should really be here, because you know, we have good ideas, and then Amber kind of like, she helps actualize them, you know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, I think Amber was excited, but she was also like a little bit like, what did you guys sign us up for? You know what I mean? Because this is like logistically challenging for everybody involved, because none of us live in Atlantic City, right? And doing an event at a convention is a little bit more challenging than, like, say, just doing it at your gym. You've got to truck everything in. You've got to, you know, get everything set up on someone else's time frame. A lot of times they have union labor, so they got to utilize union labor to do stuff. You don't always know what your floor plan will look like. Of course, then you have to also entice people to come in. I know I'm going on and on. The short end of it is, like, Dana had an idea. He had this connection with the Mr. America. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, I latched. I was like, this is amazing. Like, let's do it. Like, sounds like fun. Let's roll.
Yes. What makes the AAKO such a unique event, in your opinion?
It's at the Mr. America, which is, you know, the largest natural bodybuilding event, and they have all these other events like arm wrestling, powerlifting. It's at the Tropicana at Atlantic City on the boardwalk. And then I think we're able to attract a lot of, you know, a lot of cool people to come there. And it's in a fun place, so it's a fun environment, and it's just it feels like vacation, you know, like when you're on the platform, it's not vacation, but
do you feel like it's kind of replacing the Arnold's a little bit? Because that was always fun, being at the larger convention and things like that. So,
well,
I would
go ahead.
I would say I mean, I think Nikolai's actually been to competitions at the Arnold. I haven't.
Okay. Right.
I would say it's probably similar, because you're just immersed in this convention atmosphere. You're immersed in there's tons of people and athletes from other sports. So you're getting exposed to, the strongman, powerlifting, arm wrestling. Here at the Mr. America, you're seeing the bodybuilding, all natural bodybuilders. They pride themselves on, no PEDs, things like
Right.
that. The past few years, they've had youth boxing. So they're bringing the next generation of sport athletes into the mix, So I think the uniqueness falls there, where you get exposed to all these other sports and all these other people from different backgrounds. And when it comes to our competition specifically, we've attracted people from around the world. People coming from the UK, people coming from what are some of the other countries that we got coming in, Nikolai?
We've had Mexico, we've had Norway. Of course, Canada's an easy one. We've got a guy from Ukraine coming. Yeah, so Carter Berry signed up. He's from the US, but he's a big name.
Oh, he's lifting again. Is he coming?
Yeah, he hasn't lifted in a while.
Yes.
So
it's like he put up huge numbers at the WKSF North America Open a few years ago, and then just like dropped off the face of the planet. So
I know.
I'm so excited to hear that.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to chime in. So the Mr. America and the Arnold, as far as event wise, the Arnold Classic it's the largest fitness expo in the United States, as far as I know. I've been there. It is like you have trouble walking through the convention center because there's so many people, so many vendors. I mean, it's electric. And Arnold's there. So I'd say the Mr. America's it's a bit more niche, right? But one is in Atlantic City and one is in Columbus, Ohio. So, when you're outside of the convention at the Arnold, the convention is definitely the thing to do when you're at the Arnold. And then you leave the convention and it's like, there's some decent restaurants and stuff, but there's not a lot to do in Columbus, Ohio. When you leave the convention at the Mr. America, well, now you're in the Tropicana, right? There's tons of good restaurants in all the different hotels. There's the slots and the gaming and the boardwalk and all that stuff. So I think in that sense, I really like the location, the Atlantic City, you're right on the Atlantic Ocean, and just hanging out with people after the competition is kind of what I really look forward to. And doing a little video poker or whatever, smoking a cigar while you're playing games, that's really fun to me. So location is really, really cool in Atlantic City.
So you've talked a lot about the amazing atmosphere of the Mr. America. Now, what do you do at your event to create a really welcoming atmosphere for both new and seasoned athletes?
So this year in particular, and I don't know if Amber does a lot of work and is doing a lot of work on the back end of things. Basically, there's always a lot of confusion for new people with weigh-ins. If I weigh 167.5, does that put me in this weight category or this weight category? What table am I using or whatever? So Amber's she's been basically, it's like a user interface where the person who's competing just types in their name and that'll follow them around through all integrates around the system that we're using. They put in their name and their weight after they weigh in, and it automatically populates what what weight class they're in, and they'll put in their event, and it'll be able to tabulate their score and their ranking, and maybe even their placement, like almost real time, more similar to like almost like a marathon when you run like a 5K or something like that. You
Okay.
pretty much have instantaneous results.
Uh-huh.
And of course, there'll be some checking by the head judge. So that's one thing. Just trying to provide as much information for new people, because I think we take for granted when you have been doing this for a couple of years. Yeah, we all know what biathlon and triathlon and double half snatch and all these like names, but when you think about these names, like as a beginner, it's all like a different language.
Mhm.
And so trying to clarify that, and then really trying to make this like we're putting on a show, right? This isn't
Right.
like just a competition. This is like an experience. So this year we've got, I don't even, Dana, we hired an extra photographer.
Yeah, we talked
And
about it Friday.
yeah, oh yeah, I wasn't there. But we're flying them out. So Dave, we've got one dedicated photographer for all the athletes, and we've got a whole other dedicated, really making sure that everybody gets good pictures and stuff that they can keep for their posterity, and really like remember the moment. We really put in we spare no expense to make sure it looks good, so that you know when everything's said and done, all you have left is your maybe medal, your certificate, and some pictures. You
Right.
know what I mean? And so those pictures have to look good. And we don't want people flying all the way out to Atlantic City or driving all the way out to Atlantic City, and then, you know, all I got was this paper, piece of paper, and like maybe they don't have anything to show their friends and their family and stuff, because there's a lot of effort that people put into these competitions. They train for, 2 months solid, a lot of times, maybe more. And so we want them to leave with like really good memories.
Mhm.
It'd be awesome if we can create trading cards, All American Kettlebell Open trading cards for the athletes.
That would be fantastic. I might have to steal that for the Riddle Struck Open. Sorry, guys. No, just kidding.
Don't do that. Gotta do it.
I'll put on the back, idea inspired by Dana Zornes. um, that's amazing. Yeah, I think you're right. Like the pictures, the medals, like we hang them in our gyms and we post them on social media. We refer to them to our family members. That it's really important to creating memories and a lasting connection to the event. So
That's
you,
another reason, sorry if I just
yeah, no, keep going.
maybe add a little bit to what Nikolai was saying.
Mhm.
That's another reason why we don't do the video submissions,
Mhm.
because we want people to come, we want people to experience like what it's like to be there at the convention center with tons and tons of other athletes. Because if we were to have video submissions, it's just too easy for somebody to say, oh, well, I'm just going to do it in my garage.
Mhm.
They're going to lose out on hearing Nikolai MC the entire event. Like last year, he took maybe one bathroom break. Other than that, he's on mic, he's screaming, he's getting people hyped up. He's got fantastic music going. It's a whole deal.
Mhm.
Like he's a showman, he's an entertainer, and
Mhm.
that's what he's there. He's doing it all day long.
Mhm.
Another thing we're really working on trying to do is create like a better experience for people who are still at home and get to view the live stream. We're
Mhm.
trying to progress that in a way that makes it more viewership friendly for like families who can't come with the lifter. They're still going to have, a live stream that's going to be not so much interactive, but commentating and speaking on the sport, speaking on athletes and things like that. So we're trying to really elevate things in all aspects, not just, the
Mhm.
competition itself.
So just a question for you. Is the competition like where everyone can walk by and see what's going on? Oh, that's so
Yeah,
cool. Yeah. Yeah. So you're
that
really
was
like, at the Arnold's, we were always in a separate room. And like so that's really amazing that like if you're walking by, you can come see it, be like, oh, what's this? And you know,
Yeah, it's beautiful. We're right front and center. As soon as you walk in,
nice.
the one of the biggest venues taking over the convention right there.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
that was always my biggest complaint about the Arnold was that,
Mm-hmm.
the kettlebells got stuck in this. I think the room was like baby blue or something like that, or like some weird color blue,
Yeah.
and no one else could see what was happening. It was just the small group of kettlebell lifters, and it just felt like the ugly stepchild thrown in a closet. And hey, to be, it was just weird. Although Arnold did actually make his way in there
Yes.
at one
Yeah.
point, like, said hello, stuff like that, which is awesome. But like, I don't know, because this is a smaller expo than the Arnold, we're the big fish in the little pond. We're at the Arnold, we're a little fish in a huge
Mm-hmm.
in an ocean, right? And you're
Right.
competing with really big events. But I do hope to get us on the main stage at the Arnold in the next year or two. I think that's totally doable. We just have to make it a little bit more exciting and spectator friendly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's
Relays or
it's
something.
great for for me seeing people who have no idea that there was a sport of kettlebell lifting to be walking by and then stop and start
Mm-hmm.
cheering and
Yeah.
watching people do what they're doing. Like that's one of the main reasons why we're doing it, is to like get eyes on the sport, right?
Right.
So
Yeah, I think there's nothing better than when I'm sitting there at the production table and I'm seeing like just people walking by and they get stopped in their tracks because they just see these athletes up on the platform and they're minute 7, 8, and 9, and they're just you know dying on the platform.
Yes.
Guys who've never seen it before, or
Yeah.
gals, and they just like, oh my God, this is amazing. And you can see them start cheering. It's one of the best things ever.
that's
Amazing.
why we redid our flight list before anybody signed up, right? And we
Mhm.
actually limited some of the bell weights because this is a spectator event, right? There's actually more people who don't know what kettlebell lifting is than there are people that do in this venue. So we want people to be able to walk up and they'll see six people on the platform doing the same event, doing the same bell weight. And so you can, at a glance, kind of gauge, oh, is in the lead, you know what I mean? Sarah's from
Yeah, that
behind,
person's winning. Yeah.
and then it's like, oh, good, and people who don't even really know the sport, well, they can count, they see the numbers, and they can see that everybody's doing the same exercise. One of
Hmm.
my pet peeves, sometimes going and then I always listen to what people are saying. They're like, well, what's going on here? Because one person's one thing, another person's doing another thing, and another person's doing another thing. Everybody's using different bell weights, and it's like the people that are walking by, they don't even know what's going on, and it takes uh, some explanation to be able to try to explain to them, what is going on, and is this competitive or is it not, or is everybody just doing their own thing?
Hmm. Yeah, I thought that was a really unique idea. And it helps with the flight list too. It's a little work on
It's
the back
done.
end to do that. So, it'd
Yeah.
be interesting off interview to talk a bit more about the technology for your event and how you set everything up, for other organizers as well. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
my final question
We
for
have to
you.
probably pry that information from Amber.
Well,
Nikolai
we
and
do.
She's
I,
happy.
we do a lot of the talking out here, But
Yeah.
and Amber's on the back end. She's really the mastermind.
Yes.
She deserves all the
I
credit.
swear everyone knows how great Amber is, even if we've never actually seen her on camera. But her support for and like her direction and leadership for a lot of what Pro Kettlebell has done and what the event has done, I swear everyone knows. Like everyone very much knows her role in all of this. So one day we shall have to interview her. So um yeah, so if I could ask one more question, if you have time, how do you see the AAKO fitting into the larger growth of kettlebell sport in the US?
I, s- I want to, I would like the AAKO to sort of grow and be duplicated, but not exactly.
Okay, right.
In turn, I'd like to do more competitions throughout the United States at different venues but on the same scale and really have a handful of really big 100 competitor or more competitions that are people can look forward to, put on their schedule and be like, that's a must do.
Mhm.
um, so and it's evolving, and I think the systems and the practices that get a little bit better each year, I think the best ones will carry over into different competitions. But really, the biggest thing is just highlighting the sport in such a way that the people that are watching it actually want to watch it and then hopefully get involved and do it themselves and kind of bring it out of the niche
The niche,
and
yeah.
make it more exciting and accessible for everybody.
Mhm. I think we all have had that dream. So,
Well, we keep doing things like this. This is how you do it. This is how you
mm,
grow it, you know?
yeah, advertising, yeah. So, yeah, amazing. Well, thank you both so much for talking to me today. I wish I could come now. Um, but yeah, yes. So thank you again, and please tag AKLU on anything that you do, and we'll be happy to share on socials like we've been doing so far. And yeah, thank you again. I'm just gonna stop the recording.